Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel and this full series of AngularJS. So in this video, we are going to start to set up a AngularJS project and we are going to look into the files of the default AngularJS project. And also we are going to learn how you can run your application in the development environment. Hey everyone, this is Kamran and I'm a full stack web developer who is working for a long time in industry and want to teach you how you can develop web technology expertise. So in this series, I'm going to teach you how you can develop your own AngularJS applications from zero to advanced mode. I would suggest you to hit the subscribe button down there and that will help me grow as a YouTuber. So let's get started. So in order to develop an Angular project, you will need an Angular Cli in your local environment. So there are some basic prerequisites you will require for developing an Angular project in your local. So first you should have a Node.js installed in your application. So you can download the Node.js from the official websites and install it in your local. And this will help you to run any node or JavaScript based framework in your local. So this node will also install npm, which is a node package manager, and that node package manager will help you to install Angular dependencies in your local. So I already have this installed in my local, so I will leave this link in the description so you can download Node.js for yourself as well. Now let's say you already have installed this Node.js and npm in your local. So in the terminal, you have to install the AngularJS CLI for your local, and you can download that using Node Package Manager. So you can use Node Package Manager to install the Angular CLI in your local. So for that, we are going to use the command of npm install @angular/CLI, and this we will install globally. So globally means once you install anything globally, you can use that command from anywhere in your whole local computer. So once we install this CLI, we can use this CLI commands of Angular to create a basic project and create different components of a Angular project. So here you can see that I have Angular Cli 13.3, which is the most recent stable version. So let's start using this. So I am on my desktop. You can get into the folder where you want to start your project. So in order to use the Angular CLI, we are going to use the command of ng. So ng stands for Angular. So whenever we have to create something using an Angular CLI, we are going to use ng. So here I'm simply going to say ng new, and this new command will create a new empty project for me, and that project structure I can use to develop further on. Now I have to provide the name of my project, and so I'm thinking we can develop some e-commerce project on Angular so that it will help you get the different components of an Angular. So just simply say e-commerce. So it is asking, do you want to add a default routing for my Angular project? So I will go for yes. And now it is asking which kind of styling you want in our application. So I will choose SCSS because I'm very much familiar with the SCSS and I like the whole e-commerce project is setting up. Now this whole project is set up. Let's get into this project and open this in our code editor. So in this code editor, you can see that we have different folders and files inside this. So first folder we can ignore. This is all about the code editor, and the second is the node module. So for those who don't know, node modules is a folder where we keep all the dependencies, and we have this source folder inside which all the actual code goes inside this, and we have this some different kind of configuration file. So I will walk you through the files and the folders which is useful for us, and rest of the things we can just leave it for now. So for here you will have this git ignore. We have to list out down the whole files which we have to ignore in our git commit, and we have this AngularJS. This is the most important configuration file for the Angular project. So here you can see different configurations. You can keep this file as it is. We can move forward. So this karma configuration is for testing. So once we get to the testing part, we will get to know this configuration as well. We have this package JSON. So package JSON, for those who don't know, like this is the list of dependency which we require for the project are listed over here. And now let's get into the project folder. So our source folder is our main project. Inside this, we have this index.html. So this is the first project which is loaded by the application. So here you can see that we have this app root component. So this is the main component which is rendered at first by the application. So we also have this style.scss. So all the global style configuration will go inside this. Now let's get into the folders. So app is the folder where we define all the components and modules of our application. How exactly our whole Angular application is designed. So in the Angular application, we have modules which are the topmost of the Angular structure. We can have multiple modules and each modules will contain different components. So by default, there is one module inside our application, which is the app module. So this is the first module which is rendered by the application. So all the modules which we are going to define will be in the same structure. So in this module, you can see we have this routing app module, and also we have this app component. So app component will be the first component which is defaultly added to this module, and this app component will be rendered at first. An app routing module is the module in which we define all the routes of our application. So let's get into app.component first. All the components in our Angular application will look similar to this. In this, you can see we have imported this our component decorator from the Angular core package, and this component takes selector, template URL, and style URL. What exactly is this selector? Selector is the name of the component. So let's say whenever I'm going to define an app route anywhere, this particular component will render. And also we defines what template we have to pick up and what style we have to pick up. So in the template, we can see that we have this app.component.html, so which is over here. So this is something which is provided by the Angular application by default. And then we have this style component. Here we are going to define all the styling components of this particular component. And also we have this spec.ts, which is used to write the unit test for this component. So now this is clear that for each component we are going to have 4 different files. So first will be the component.ts, and inside this we will have an HTML and CSS pointing out. And we also have this spec.ts, which is the testing file for that component. So let's get back to the module, and here we have gone to the component structure, and now let's look into what we have in this routing module. So in this routing module, you can see we have imported some router modules which is used to define our routes. In this routes constant, so whenever we have to add any route, we are going to add this inside this. I think now you get the basic structure of the Angular. Now let's move to another folder. As name suggests, it will contain all the assets like images, videos, or SVGs. Whatever you are going to add inside this assets, and you are going to point it to this folder. And also we have this environments. So let's say if we are running this application in 2 different environments, in the development and the production. So we will have 2 different configuration for both the environment, and we can also add multiple environments inside this. And whenever we are going to run in a particular environment, we are going to take up that configuration. This is all about the folder structure. Now let's try to run this application and see the output on the web browser. So for that, go to the terminal, and I will clear up this one, and I will simply say ng serve. This command will serve the application in a deployment mode and will show the output on the browser. Once the compilation is done, you can see that it is saying that you can open the local environment on this particular URL. So let's copy and paste it into the browser. So here you can see we have this basic application running in our browser. So here you can see we have this name e-commerce over here. So this is how you can run a basic Angular application in your local. Now from the next video, we are going to add some new modules and components to this application, and we are going to make this as a full-fledged e-commerce application. Thanks everyone for watching the whole video. Hope you liked it. Soon I will upload more videos on Angular development. Happy coding everyone. See you in the next video.